living out there, it's hard. I have to, when I get home, I have to chop wood. I have to help my mom cook. I have to clean. I have to haul water. And by that time, it's like 8 or 9. And I haven't done my homework. My typical morning is I wake up at 4 and I get home at like 5 from a long trip. Dropping off kids. I'm just sitting on the bus trying to think of the good stuff from what happened all week or all day. By the time I get home, it's like 7 because we have to like pick up food or get gas for the next day. And when I get home, I have to cook, clean, feed the animals. And by that time, it's like 8 or 9. And I do my homework for an hour, which is 10. And I go to bed at 11.
So the Holbrook Unified School District resides in Northeast Arizona. We span 1,500 square miles as a district boundary, so we're the same size as the state of Rhode Island in terms of district boundaries. We serve about 1,600 students, 1,700 with our preschool population. We're around 65% Native American. We have about 18% Hispanic, and we have a small Black and Asian population as well. The Holbrook Unified School District runs a tremendous bus system. We transport over 2,500 miles a day, 500,000 miles a year on 27 buses. We run about 90% of our kids ride the bus each day. We have 400 that ride the bus from the Navajo Nation into our schools in town. And then we also have another 500 that we transport from the 9 different communities that we serve throughout the Holbrook Unified School District boundaries.
Where I'm at, they call it the unorganized territory. So my daughter, after she gets on the bus, she has to travel about an hour drive to the bus stop. So it's from Delcon all the way to Indian Wells onto Holbrook. So that's about, I would say, 30 to about 40 miles, I think, one way. And because I love the staff here, my kids started preschool here, I'll sacrifice sleep for them. So drive them to this bus stop and whatever, so.
The Holbrook Unified School District has a tremendous commitment from our parents. Out of the 900 students that are committed to riding our bus each day, most of them travel 20 to 30 miles one way to get to the bus. And our school district utilizes a contracted mileage program. We only run our buses on 2 main highways, which is Highway 15 and Highway 77. We travel over 70 miles north of Holbrook, and then we also go about another 45 to 50 miles to the northwest of Holbrook, and another probably 40 miles to the northeast of Holbrook. So we don't run our buses off of the main highways. So we rely on our parents to bring them to and from school, and many of our parents bring them to school, to the bus stop, return home, and then come get the kids and return home again. So we contract mileage with our parents to be able to do that. A for Arizona and the Arizona Transportation Grant has allowed us to extend that program to where we can utilize the funds for open enrollment students that attend our school system that are not within our district boundaries and are capped by the transportation formula at 20 miles. So if they have to travel over 20 miles one way to get to a bus stop, which many of our parents do, then they are able to capture those additional funding, which I've calculated out that some of our families spend between $3,000 and $5,000 a year getting their kids to the bus stop.
As a tribal liaison, I'm actually the representative for Holbrook School District out in the field. So I usually talk to parents and they come to me when there's a problem, problem with bus issues. If they're seeking answers, then they come see me. Most parents have to drive quite a bit of distance. It usually starts about early in the morning, even before the sun comes up. If you live in the city or in the town, your child can be up by 7:30 and make it to school at 8 o'clock. Out here on the reservation, it doesn't work that way.
That mileage reimbursement has helped us out tremendously. It does help out a lot.
I guarantee that some of these kids that take advantage of the program wouldn't be able to come to school if they didn't have it, or they wouldn't be able to participate in other, after school things that we have if we didn't have that program, which gives opportunities where kids wouldn't normally have opportunities, given the equal opportunities as a kid that's down in the valley that has to walk to school or drive to school less than a mile.
So the Aid for Arizona grant has opened an opportunity for us to provide equity, I believe equity within the transportation system, to be able to give every student the opportunity to attend a high quality high school or a high quality education system in general. And the opportunity or advice that I would give others is that to capture the opportunity to be innovative, to be creative, to take advantages of grants like this, to find the weaknesses that you might have within your system that maybe are unequal or unequitable, and to provide equity that way. I really feel like this is a equity issue, because those kids that reside 50, 60 miles away from Holbrook should have just as equal opportunity to get a high quality education without additional cost, without additional trauma, without additional the lack of opportunities. And that's what this program does, is it allows families to have that equity to be able to get their kids to school without it costing a tremendous amount of money to do so. And if we're going to be the America that we want to be, if we're going to be education system that we want to be, everybody has to have an equal opportunity to get to school and to have the same opportunities at school. Without grants like this, many of our kids don't have that opportunity, because it is a financial burden for many of our families to be able to get their kids to school, which should never be a factor in getting kids to school and getting kids an education.